Assalamu alaikum baringol mbal tentulam mbal jayilam mbal kontonna kabo gunjur kabo tibabudu kabo dunia karo mume bela kali bisimla drong kotenke kanan platform moto ka kuli discourse je mini ya lon ka sen nafa dunia ni lakira bawo platform ni drong coming after drong voluntary lamu mi ya lon ka be do ko na community ye na sateli ye na bankoli so wo kammala drong wato watini bulu firinta drong isa agency na nan se kuolita ke kacha kanyo so hakilo la malla fi nyo korindo so bifana nata muru wala drong adula kilimo lo mu program mi nga tola nimfo ninkel la kacha la bar wo mu to da made ti bar nim mobile la platform mu janti bi alhamdulillah nata wala to bar coming off drong aka ke gujurun kol la platform wala to ka fo mi gujur online sabe jin kol wala malo wala nan ka fo le ko mimbe fonyo kon so ba to man yin so alhamdulillah nata bi arjumo lambal be tentu lambal jey lamba fo la le ko mbal kon to na arjumo la komin drong nata bi bulusoto keta bi dum kontade ko wala drong pour kana se kacha bawo ninga remember mamme baba bake ni august ko no be nyin karo min ko na la telefulo na kilimo ni telefulo wala keta KSA wala Kombo Sillah Association noti bunyur ko la kafo ani Gambia no la kafo mi ya lon ka be tibabu du jang in UK wala cultural weekend wala mu kan nyang fangola nyantol to kan kuolita ke kiribandi ya wala keno mokumale bentaje jalengara balu bentaje waya sabu Gambia dingo bondita dula Africa dingo bondita di wadula wol fananta non be nata je bi duron nata wol layla kiyaman ba toya kan pour kana ka fo mol alnim bar ani moli e kontane kujel jamal le soto je ani mun kolya kulle soto je be wol be ka tala ngi tantu ngi kachabi alhamdulillah once again we are back on Gunjur Online as always we are here to discuss issues that affects us as a people, in the Gambia, outside Gambia, Gunjur, outside Gunjur. As we can just to refresh our mind, Kombo Sillah had a cultural weekend, and a cultural night where we display our cultures, our keys to the world, to different peoples all around Gambia, Africa, in Europe. We are here to thank people for coming and grace the occasion, make it successful, and of course we are here also to seek feedbacks, to see people reactions, what was their experiences, if there's anything that we can adjust. We are always learning, and we are here to hear from them, some from Finland, some from the Gambia, some from UK, just to come and discuss and brainstorm and see how far, how best that program has been successful. If there's anything, as I say, we can address the shortcomings, our drawbacks. Once again, Balbe Tentulambal Jailan, panel mol Mbali Volali ko albisim la program auto. Bi kolam Kombo Sillah la cultural weekend oti bina wala kachala mbal bisimillah la na chairman ba follow mbe bisimillah la program o tesina dunna wala Bakar Touré Kombo Sillah la chairman o KSA la chairman ni wo mondita je mfango dimma many are long the pride of these associations. Once again, these are our own daughters. Many are long the bond, while Kombo Sillah, in the Kombo Sillah. So they are here, and she is currently our deputy chair. And she is fundamental here because, as we said, there's a transition going on, and these kids are fantastic. They're going to take over very soon, completely, and we will always be on the benches, just give them advices, but they will do it as how they see it fit. Yombe mfango msafo mbari musolamu mfango bafula karadola mbitan no madifana miya lonko na musukunda alto akatan na sateli to bar Kombo Sillah fango aka kato minke Kombo Sillah malla Kombo Sillah dinjama fango bi jaminka woke mimu Mariama Jobti bawo Kombo Sillah la asobila telekato boringola ba dunula ba kila ba dila molla akabata minke is just mota describe lano somba fanan tentu lamba jailan finally wala mun kebati mi yalon kombe kotoma mi yalon na keba kuma ba bota all the way kabo Finland meeting balle bijemi ya lonko na cultural weekend oni wolle benta bari ay woli tuje anata nan one alfalo mati nyinka foko no bargutu wo alfalo mati kunjur fana so on contanta baba kele min mu bob tureti o buba ture ka wabe finland on ko do ma mbeten to lambe jey lambe bismillah la programme do
Ibrahim, thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, abarka baba ke jannim bina mombe murna chairman ba kan folo atesina ase dalilo fo moliye mbe mun dalil to jang anim programme mi ya lon ko na cultural weekend nga minki amamme baba ke mina saba yin programme kere kere pour moliye na jang se diamu programme chairman ba besim la programme.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Mbe ikontonna Mr. Jane Nkaramu. Guide fellow panelist mbal mwe be kontonna. Gunjur online na viewers nyolu mbal be kontonna. Kombo Sillah supporters nyolu na members nyolu na supporters nyolu badawo da mbal be kontonna. Yeah, baraka bake ila nyini ngaro nying beteata. Na bengo dalilo jambi wolong coming kana coming nyimmanke sinya foloti ngame modol mi tol sabanu wol yakele nu ninna cultural wiko nyimbanta coming kana nanka na luntam punya ngolu ani mol min be mako roke bengo nyinkono na bengo nyinkono kana ka funti jang ke tentu ka nyo tentu ke jai momo dunda kuo kuto momo barata kuo kula ka tinna fo programu ni successful coming kana jandron ke betendu so na bi na bengo jan dalilo mo leti dal anba gunjur online be tentu la ba ke be jai la for coming yentol alaw nyami coming kam makoi kana kana mulna mulkan ke tentu ke jai. So yeah, kulete mi alon ko ay kono fa bake andu ngala mobe kontanta ko nyenelo.
Barka kiaman ba fongata ngata Gambia ngata Mariama Jobia Jobis wolomu Mariama Jobi ya lonko watu Mariama Jobi ngajele nin Kombo Sillah nyin ko mata ikabata minke bari mo jama probably molbe ma wolong bari ikabata bale ke nyin ko janning na alla kafo fangola kafo miti cultural weekend je nyaadi bari mine ke bula wo batala ebe kundula asobilu molbina kamala ba dandan na doli bita sanna abata warata baba bakel so fonga wo acknowledge mine ke sayndi nin Kombo Sillah nyim manta kayim borin ke kanyim bata mu mebe ke Kombo Sillah hannen darno be Gambia lenen man na Kombo Sillah cultural weekend no attend all the way kana England jang bari se bata ko la pour se yese wo fo mol faran salon behind all the asobi na la borin na ki ole na fengol because ndela bun konon ka kala mutale ka bata min so bar mo jama baka wolo tol ka jila futata jandoro may la bata ibe ka wolo Mariama se will explain mole mumine ke bula ka loko Kombo Sillah ko e kay asobi kulta ke dunu ka borin ke fangola kodoli jo abada warata baba ke e bismillah. Yeah, ngabra Mariama be metering maybe yes abe metering Mariama fon bondi metering nka jele be move la but it seems be metering wo yalo. Yeah, mbaka Mariama mo insina murun atekal later on mbina la bakoto ya woto mi yalon ko nsafo kon dingol lo miti Bakoto and many people were, they said they are very, very happy. People came from all over the place, all over the world, to grace this occasion. I know that Bristol was smashed into pieces, when we had these 2 days, and the services were run, hotels, everywhere, and I know we've contributed a lot to the economy. But what are some of the highlights for you, about the 2 days, the culture, the night, and the park? What are the highlights for you as the young trustees? What are some of the highlights? Sorry.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Uncle Ibrahima, for your introduction. I think one of the highlights, I think, from my perspective, is probably from like more of a youth perspective, but I really liked how the youth really worked together this year. Like we all really came as one. We all got along, even with people like obviously we had people from Leeds, people from Bristol, people from Wales as well. But even though we didn't know each other, all of us youth came together and we were communicating on the group chat for a long time. But I think us meeting for the first time in person on the day and for us to all get along so well, make so much like social media content and also be able to communicate and work well together and have a really beautiful result with the tribal display. I think that's one of the main highlights. And as we transitioned from the cultural night to the park event, we all became really close. We are all still like in contact with each other. So I think the unity within the youth has really been a great highlight for me. And then also being able to, because it's my first time also being like a part of like the executives and stuff. I just liked how seeing people worked and seeing how joyful everyone was and seeing how many countries people came from. Like it's not just from Bristol, like from obviously America and other places as well. Just seeing how many people from around the world just come for one beautiful event really makes me so happy and really shows that there's hope for unity within the community. So I think that's one of the biggest highlights I've had
that's
from
that's
these two
that's
events.
that's, that's
Yeah.
definitely big, because our intention is, for kids to converge and find and form those bondings to know each other. So if that happens and still they're communicating, they're knowing each other, they know this is who they put names on the faces. That is
Yeah.
a massive achievement for this association, because in few years time you people are going to be, you will be the forefront, in running Kombo Sillah. So but the fact that kids can come together, they can display Gambian culture, speak languages of different tribes in the Gambia, and raise and know each other and bond, that is the biggest highlight, I think, for me, that melts my heart to know that you people have form those bonds, and now you are communicating, you're using the social media, the technology that we are crap in, some of us, or most of us, you're
Yeah.
using it to connect each other, so that's definitely is the essence of this cultural weekend, so
Yeah.
that our kids can converge in one place, they can know each other, because once you know each other, you will sympathize each other. But if you don't know each other, you don't communicate, you will not sympathize each other. So that's massive, that's really fantastic. And then a lot of people were happy how we bring you people together to participate, to take part all over the world. One of the highlights that people always talked about is, how do you bring these kids in? I think Kombo Sillah is at the pace setters. It's only Kombo Sillah that initiated that. I know a lot of people will follow suit, but for Kombo Sillah to bring the kids, to be in the forefront of the organizations, to discuss,
Definitely. Yeah,
until
definitely.
and you implement it very well. So thank you. I'll come back to you once again.
Thank you.
Nkotoma, I'm content Baba Bakele to see you there. Definitely, Momo Buje as our Bob Natalie, Bob Bijane, and it was a big highlight for us to come. For I mean, you man can now follow it in Natalie, nice film called AGM to speech will D, but this time, be do home be at another level to see you there. How do you feel? Ye kadungalo ne be mballe soto andu yebe palasi kuma balle be bulu wo pe ngolte yo olu filije, because sama juno ni bajulo benta, for sama juno ni bajulo benta for me numbang, but at least in other Kombo Sillah tatol. Ye mum feeling le soto, ye mum enjoy le soto, katun dol content bakele to see you there. And then ye ka for me alon ko meta norma, meta speeches all dealer for ya gening level doto. Wo ye Kenya dile, I'm content ne dealer. Aning moli jeje ye moli jeje wo fana mum feeling le deal e be semlan ko to ma
Abaka Ibrahim, the fellow panelist Kondona, especially Namuso Mariama Joe, and don't find Karamola Fanamari because Mfama Karamola ma Fati, so they are Pumpanan Karamola, the Fananti, or born is there. And also Bendio Kondona make it a bakariti, and then also Bakoto, maybe young. And likewise, you, the Ibrahim, and also the proprietor of Gunjur Online, Mim Kira Lamenti. Lamen is one of my, junior brothers, Mine Alonko, Najele from afar. Anyway, Ibrahim, the Kombo Sillah, I benchmark le set, not only for Gunjur, but the entire diaspora kono. Because at nowhere, Tatel Tobang, Mine Alonko, Yomuta, ko Gunjur Kombo Sillah Yomuta Nyani. And they movie Ganyata in Cocono until Sapuntel Ganyata bit. Simply because they farm Gunjur quality, but I would have back. And I left the Gambia 35 years ago, not in Europe. The time, Badi Jama became me long, but the Kombo Sillah Nimbadi on the Nyoje, Nimbadi on the Nyolong, for the need to communicate can. Ponte Munte Ganye Balde. Akamunda ko, Kombo Sillah Yinke Dele Parli. Ko Ibrahim Yafunyami, I supposed to be in the US. Bari, during Kombo Sillah Lampo Narana, no, Ntamu Gunjur Koledi, Nimu Gunjur Kold. So therefore, Gunjur Kold no one other, when it from Benta, the Gunjur Kold in Itala. I'm so happy. And then also, Nia Jibe Kombo Sillah. Ndol Lending on Le Palasol Mutaje. Because I remember the sister in the Kerala President of the Mikira City, Masi Mundo Maleti, is my biological sister. And likewise, Bakari is also my biological nephew. They are Lonko, will be in Kaforgin, Iba Sambakam. You call Ibrahim Mundo Maleti, to Makendeba, you understand. So, not the Kukukono, definitely the Fanyan Fangelo, Agent and Lural, Purkal Fasa. So, Kombo Sillah. Tonya, and then let me take up on now understand as a transition like from auto cable to Bindul, make a back auto world and in Zenab world for them to take over. Because look, during Naramanje, in fact, I'm so happy. Najale, Dingolu, Menikata, General Dingolti, Katalan Sali Dingolu, Najale, they are all driving around, the Boring Kang, you understand it. And I'm going to go and give it a lally develop back because I don't know cable let it be boring dollar. Likewise, I will be drive national table. I'll say assign knowledge to cable backship KBD. Need a failure damage, you can kind of adjust them so that you have a successful one. Then, like from now on, as long as I'm in Europe, inshallah, I'll be attending all your events. Inshallah. Thank you very much, Ibrahim.
Baraka baken kotoma mfana kontanta bakele keje odulato kontano mole min soto pour enta express la no jang in words bari nyimmanke follow coming awati nga fo nyami kabrin Kombo Sillah ba dindinto baba funding ke ato wati bina kan ka fly over to come and grace that occasion. So kontanta bakele pabo mbe konton nambe tentulambe jayila and mini be program o jibe kan pour nga fo program o nyin share Mariama ikam moyle bangsaing nge ndol bike moy ni diamte Mariama butum malo minam de bari ikam moyle nge malum fabe mitrine bang bari ndolke moyle nak ndol bike moy bari te kan tol moyle coming off don Mariama job Gambia le sometimes network o kake program oleti the transition nyinga ka kolea baba kele dobije ba Mariama mum moleti mi ya lonko ka lo Kombo Sillah la ko la bakel ninna asobil nata atele ka borbar Kombo Sillah dam mala ko wonte gunjur ku jama bebije wobu ka keno Mariama koma so Kombo Sillah ko fanana nata the same thing aka energy min damata ka expense on Kombo Sillah ko Kombo Sillah din jama ma wolon bawo coming ngani asobi kana transition ka san Gambia ka karaje kana na fe nan ka allocate mole wolman ke kucha hande single handedly atel ka tarawo borin wala je and bi fanan ngaka fo soto min ya lon ko yen damole boy na nyindula to min mudaji ko sisters and atebe wol fanan kolon so anan be kontan na bakele ndanu nay nyomo e porase commandi fo nyindula bakare mol commandi mol nate dankuila in large number mobe nata moli ya kata bartonya moli ya kata fana min ya lon ko mun na sponsora solti na sponsor aning la VIP wol ise mun ko jairi kumale ta ka foye ke tentu ke numbara ka fo toyala le doku kendo e mume beke nsa follow na dono lo aning na VIP wala then sita molto many along ko fluta all over from different places dol bondita America dol bondita Gambia wolto dol bondita European banku dol to inatana as chair on behalf of Kombo Sillah is a minefono wolie ke tentu ke jai
Mr. Jana barka bake ila nyinin karo kumayata. So na luntang bunyar ngol kono minu mabetan fe nganying tifla bengo min soto. Abe ul kono mfama bi janne bop mi yalan ko panelo kono janne bi bop ya kata bake. Botanan ne for Finland kana nang jang kana nanying event la for the first time. Woko kita ni kulet mi yalan ko I'm contani back and they kono fa back wallahi and honestly they journal and they tend no and they thinking all of that so boba baraka ye na luntang kumal fana kono although ngalo ne dadico sisters itol grupo leti siata le domande ngalo ne mobe mang mabe no bari la mo jama mabe tale wol ya kata bengo nyinko ba kele ngamla entol mebe surprise le wallahi ya kata bak inim bulfen ni ma ba na tanan ka sam nan ko musilla puru ka ko musilla sembenti yandi ko mi ba do ku kendol min beke kan puru yewu do ko timmandino bolun tam bunyar ngol kono fana ko min bar musdo bije binta siro te ben fe jalle wol be ma be tale inim bulfen ni ma bal na tanan dolbe for America min bako bintu Keita Bojang will be nata ila mokumal kinanne ila bulfen kendol tila funya samanan ko mosilay seku jamme bol kono wol fana natana na numonyoma na la dimbayal natana inen bulfen kendol natana ka ofbe la fa ko mosilala sembo kan puru isi ila do kul timandino okay jaji fal bije ana ano mo nyomande wol fani delegation ba natana kana ma ben fe ka Kombo Sillah sembenti yandi kam famo sembenti yandi pour kana do ko contineno na koto ma bije sanam kundanko sankule ani yayi sedili wol be natana ni la delegation kendo natana kana ka ka Kombo Sillah support kam famo ma ko ja min ka Kombo Sillah sembenti yandi pour ngan ndugu kendol contineno musma bije aiso nyasi funa nata na la kafomolu wol benim bul fenyi ma nata nan na bar musma bije fatu kombe bojang wol be ben fetane to bota fo Cardiff afuna nata ma ben fe bamba mas mba funa tentula mba jaila ifuna ma betam feje na la delegation o molu min ko la min jasi nyolu nim bul fen nyima natana ka lafa Kombo Sillah kan pour Kombo Sillah la do pour contineno mbal musma be ami fay manjang te kan atemu regularity KSA la bengol ko na manke biti ate adaltal kanana mba tentula pak mba jayila nani bul fen nyima natana ka lafa Kombo Sillah kan nata surprise donation basoto kabo mobulo mi yalon ko mari mamma beno na weekend events nyoto bari kukola anata bulfe ngoni sambanan komin ka di Kombo Sillah la pour Kombo Sillah se ndogu kendol contineno womu Amadou an Marie Jilen inata nan true na finance director Babukar inata nan ye bulfe ngoni nta ya diala pour asala Kombo Sillah kan individual donation dol fana so min bota mol bul min bako kas mas no ci falu ñinu mol mu me be mol leti min alon ko ni bul fe ñimal natanan ne ka taka di Kombo Sillah la pour Kombo Sillah se ñindo ku kendol contineno so ñi mol honestly ante they funds na funti jang ke tento ke jai the mama ke multi doron par just ni no top multi min alon ko ngol tol fono jang mol siata se ke no ngam dol bla ko ma bari ni na min na fana be hakedan la bari mba tara ko ngana na ngamin remember ngi for as we go along yo Mr. Jane wolo mo ngam nga da ngoto folo ko de.
Yes, it's about danno to le nyato ni na tamurun nang sen sponsor for bao ye Kombo Sillah drong mo si fa bele bi nga entrepreneur so to nga businessman also to nga business woman also to media long ko contributor a lot pour ka fo sembentu ya then wol fana mo molle mi ya long ko fonse tentu nge jayi ni na tamurun nang aning sponsor do le mi ya long ko ye sponsor ye nata nang ya kata ila ban sol nim fengoli doli ben fe wato drobe je ngalon ne ko nadia ta la mbe jogu malik wol e buture wol mbe wol fanan ibina murun na le sense wol fanan beta nge tentu ke jayi so bakoto once again you people behind the scene have done fantastic the meetings, the organizations, going into media, to organize these things, so what you people can do is unimaginable when it comes to internet, to harness the power of internet. Sorry, to discuss, to organize these programs, to link and all those things, you do this linking, these plannings and all those things online, and you kind of, pick it up from there and implement it, on the day, the cultural night and in the park. This transition is not easy, because most of you didn't meet, maybe few of you knew each other before, but most of the people, you planned there in that space, and now you took the idea, that planning, and implemented, and everything went fine. How did you do that?
Oh, to be fair, at the beginning it wasn't that very easy because obviously when we were recruiting people, because obviously we wanted to be bigger than last year. So when we were recruiting people, there was a lot of people that didn't know each other. And then we had, obviously, I said before, people were from like Leeds, from Manchester or from Newport, Cardiff. So with a bunch of people on room group chat and nobody really knowing each other, it was kind of difficult. But then I think one person I really want to give credit to was Tina Janet. I feel like she's been a very, very helpful person during this whole process of trying to allow people to get to know each other, because what she did was basically put everybody into groups and allow people to communicate within themselves instead of us like trying to force them to like get to know each other. So when she did that, you could see like the changes. People were trying to get to know each other and express their ideas to each other, and then it made the process so much easier. So to the lead up to the event, everyone like kind of knew each other or like knew what the kind of vibe they wanted to go for. So even though nobody even met each other, they were able to like produce something really good. So I think I really wanted to give credit to Tida during that process because she's been a really massive help. And then even with like the teams meeting and organizing meetings as well and trying to reassure the youth, she's been such a massive help during that process as well. So yeah, I think that's how we made it
Yeah,
to come across. Yeah.
that's as I say, these things,
Yeah.
they're success stories for us, for you people
Yeah.
to come together to meet, online and come on the ground, and you
Yeah.
came on the ground and you gelled and deliver, without support, most support from us anyway. The guidelines were there, but what happens also, your people, the kids are there, helping the cleaning, the organizing,
Yeah.
and then serving the food, and make so people don't have double of what they should have, and all those things. These
Yeah.
kids
Yeah.
are feeling, so that coordination was fantastic, really. And what can you tell the kids, your colleagues, the teams and all those things, in terms of how successful they've achieved, and probably one day we'll only do only kids for them to and tell us the highlights and all those things, But I told them, because some of them went and do things, that's against uncles or aunties, because aunties one days, be, outside their organization, and they resisted. They felt bad because somebody expressed to me that, I felt very bad to say uncle no. I said, but no, uncle will respect you because uncle knew.
Yeah.
And this will give you confidence because uncle knew what you are saying to uncle or auntie is the right thing. So that's why they're not arguing. So can you shout for them? Can you say thank you to all the kids, that were involved, and tell them how massive they've done and how fantastic they've come together to organize something virtually and came on the ground and implemented to nearly perfection.
Yeah, to be fair, honestly, I don't have the words, but I think I would like to say a big thank you to every individual. I couldn't obviously say all the names now because I think there's like around 30 of us or 40 of us, but I do want to say like a massive thank you to everybody individually because you know who you are. But I really felt very emotional like towards the end of everything about like how everyone was like putting in the work. It wasn't just one person, like everyone was working together. And the sweet words that we were exchanged afterwards, like everyone, not even after the event, but like during the whole week, everyone was just putting in the work and making sure everyone was supporting each other, asking questions, and obviously reassuring me as well. Like, obviously, sometimes I would get a bit overwhelmed with dealing with so many kids, but everyone was really, really working well together. And then the most beautiful part was also like everyone making like lovely videos for the social media. Like, I've never seen Kombo Sillah social media go so big ever. We've gained so many followers, we have so many interactions, like we've really made a mark for the community and for the association. So every single individual, I really hope Allah rewards all of you for just putting in the work for Kombo Sillah, and hopefully inshallah we will all meet again, and hopefully we'll be able to make Kombo Sillah's youth organization much more stronger. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. And
Yeah,
then you're talking about the social media page. I
yeah.
nearly forget that because I'm not technically there. I know that Facebook has been going on. Lamin was helping us, but you people's coming in has taken it to another level now
Yeah.
because this is a generational thing. So for us, maybe we're going to do it physically, but you elevate it to another level, and now that place is booming now.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's also going to attract kids. We before, and I think one of your sessions before the cultural night and the park events, I think, we were talking about our boys coming up, joining you people. I saw a few of them there. What is your analysis there? Is that the progress or we still need to do more? Go ahead.
If I'm being honest, yeah, probably we still need to kind of grab them by the neck a little bit. But we've been acknowledged by the boys, which is a great improvement because I think before we were just like moving on without the boys, and obviously we don't want to do that. It's not just the female thing, young female thing. It's for everybody. But with the likes of like Sankung and other like Sheriff Manjang as
Yeah,
well,
Sheriff
we've
also, yeah.
started to make a move. So I think with those two especially, we can build on something. So I think it's still an improvement to be proud of, but we definitely need to make more moves on that aspect, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what Uncle Bob was saying. Not
Yeah.
only our boys, but our youths also. A lot of them have cars, and they could have helped a lot at the park in terms of cleanings and all those things, to
Yeah.
lessen the burden in terms of collecting food and all those things. But I think the chair is here. They will learn some of these things, and probably we will put them into our thinking caps for next year, so that we
Exactly.
can see how we can harness the potentials that we have, so that not few people taking all the burden to, and others are not involved, because as I said, anytime you take part in this, you learn new skills, your
Mhm.
communications, in your confidence, many skills that we can glean from involving in these community issues and
Mhm.
getting part into issues, into park events, into the organization. What you people have learned organizing these things to the extent that you implement it and successfully, that's, we cannot just underestimate that. So we don't want our boys or other people that were not part of it, to lose, because they're not part of this. The skills that goes with this, they also need to tap into it. because
Yeah.
these are lifelong skills that will be very, very handy at some point in your life. Even to appear online like this, it's not easy. It takes a lot of adjustment for you to be comfortable to come online. So these are all skills that are very, very important, and we will work with the parents so that we can see what we can do, especially boys side, and get them more involved. Not only to come and do football, which is also important, but there are many, many, many things that they can do. And the sense of responsibility that we are part of this, we got to make it successful. And when it's over, also we have to clean up. For us to have our respect that we deserve. From the communities and our environment around. Thank you so much, Bakoto.
Thank you.
Once again, Birinata Nyindulato, not only the 2 days also, but more meta je, ye body ali jockey, ye kudo ali jockey. And mfanam de ngameram next year ni binale ni dindingol binala la foy hol fanan ni dindindoli se nyomoy, because if Finland nya we can connect with them. Ni nyindo se ninti da wol nim Bakoto woli fanan se nyomoy salon ko la cousin hol bijanne ni min yalon ko se connect no se ku jamat. But badia joki jamala kita nyindulato post the program, the 2 programs also mole site kachata ye alaji wole je libo e famata mo jamala nying ngamine itandi anim bamba maswol nate joint tankan mole moje modoli ni kawol tole mo inene meje fobiri ni futata wo program dulat. So what as a kenole exprime boti for Gambia in terms of the United kombe mu kilineti, anin nim program of bondita alka kachale nim fengol mu mebe ke ka fenjama lande, you bond with people. Maybe ka kontano minke ose tambanole the whole year, ibo kontano mira la because of ye highlights minje auto, and it will improve your health in your mental health. Ila kontano kuo fonye bang nyomo yo minketa nyindulato ka soje program ke at this level ala nafa nasate to gunjur semfango lafa no gunjur se lesino la no Kombo Sillah la Gambia se lesino la no Kombo Sillah la anen ka fo dol min yalon ko be UK jang ka such massive events all organized, and the capacity pour ka ni organize, because ni organize o manka kucha han. Yeah, so nga bunda nyindulato inene man kele moy pagoto police fango man police jije nim even dolon police olbe tarra jele be sana, so police fango boke fango boda kana nyindulato andu na bantam kan nyo motivate even though dol ka bata kata midolti barin ka dulale clean and all those. Way mun todi ale din na sate la gunjur anen gunjur den no anen ka fodingo mu mebe anen Gambia mu mebe ise wol elaborate. I'm sorry question was siata demande
Yo, Ibrahim, abaraka bake kodaj. Ko nadi amo flo damen no. Kontano furkanana je nte nin folo mbengati konton. Mengera sali libo la sali. Sali jallo bojan. Sallom jadi ramake libo makende jadi. So ma konton la bake ayem topato ayem mutaku definitely ko in Kilet. And the following down inshallah in the coming years na dimbal for Nabinala. If I remember my bill Purkana Kela question solve. Inshallah will be Kelale. And also Koya for Yaning people like Bamba Mas Diamola telephone auto, but minimum no for long Nabinet will be the moment to labor and very political, but all of the war politic movement are caring. Minute candidate auto, Gungurum Kayalum and Gambian Kaya, or a Tambida auto. And also, in a Bakoto Gibia, for example, I don't know, I might be wrong, but a Gunduruma Bake amongst ya. So, but imagine Albany Kakan, Alba expand Kande, Kajeko, Kombo Sillah mo Banco de Tati. America Gundur Dama, Kombo Sillah Belorin Banco. So, no, Gambia, Linyante Fangela Kombo Sillah, Kombo Sillah College. Because Kombo Sillah Benin Kakan, and Uncle Coco Gundur Damalum. All over Paco, more got a different region, Ola Mabeta J. Even you for a more got a different region, Ola Mabeta J. Will be Mabeta J, Milekama, Bakel in Fakilia, wala demonstrate je ko Ibrahima ya ko nyane woli ay te fongo damma ite bata min keji ni bakari wolu alum be mo be be anal almamo ite lan ku tawol mo be bara kan je man ka bata kan pour ko fongo be bata kan pour gambele be bata kan pour gunjurle be bata kan pour kombole be par everywhere so ko ba ko to ya ko nyaay I mean imaja tempat ala tembunul konton ko dulu biji bawa to fo mandia bawa motan sa bawa nike bol be to la jambe de la jende to you know by encourage la pro I continue porque motivate and also upon fana ale sado executive body shoto ko nyin dinno molie mina lonko albe implant la alcohol ibaje ko by next year ibaje ko it will be in total control porque ni eventually ya wrong it will fall ya genyane you know because you cannot be in the I mean you cannot be a leader forever you understand you need to transition you understand and then element to your path backward wala mo backward jibe ko marana ko as a purpose the backward was second and ngala PSO because maybe I've seen how they are and najele and bilang nanje and then and also what is more profound also already different cultural performance on min bula ko ni kono Nikara bring Joral, the Sere, or Manding called Fulu, you know. I mean, Mobe Fanjaji, Kajakodim Criminal, and you Bemu, they are all part of Kombo Sillah. So, Ibrahim, in Contano, or Rabakele, the Male Nyoji, the Mul Farmer Nola, Minaro Sangi Jama Jamalom. Sankul and Tony Sankulo will let in the Akayoka Sankule by four. We used to come to Bunju, make a football or play. In a buy used to fall, we used to play. When they had a football team, Thank you. Yuba Football Club. We used to come there. But in Famata, Kara Adu, Famata Adu, I cannot remember. Older than me, Adu knew the football field. So it is so profound. Kana Nangi, Pro, Kanim motivated. You know, so in content back Ibrahim, me ala kontana me ala content and Dula Folano, and keep it up, guys. Really. I'll be cake and Matra cake and Fonly. I'll be cake and Tolly. And people like Zenda Wall, you know, I'll encourage. You know, Najila Wodung, if they put in Boyum in there. You know, you understand? If you go in Binna, like Ali guide me, Ali Mindila, you go to Tamandeka, and I'm so happy. And also when I came back, and there's something very profound, important also me and Najiki, during Narasuna Dinapoil, Nkoiko Rajal Angal there, what they also, even like Alabama Bay, mostly finger foods, Alola de Ali Bay Park, to Lalman, no Lalman Messi. Don't Asamba, Gana Kunankula Assembly Akadasa Amodisomanda. So Ivajala Kosa in few places like Delphananjan, I hope that Konamsul Konabo adopt Lal. Ivajala could Lalte Nola, on the Rosso Mo, Udo Sanyan Kunako, Sisa Kunako study. If I can ask someone, because none of the Sundaka more Dinka, somebody I can also amode. And that is something me alone go definitely it is so beautiful. And then you know, Mobe as sort of Kunyan Mishula. Definitely. But I'm so profoundly happy to be part of this process.
Abarka Baken Kotuma, coming a for Don Gambia can killing all tribes are part of Gambia, is Gambia first and tribes second. So when Asabu tribes will be displayed about Tending Old Dol Jolalti, you know, and they were very, very happy to be those. So wala na moment yan can divide tribally because Mbemu killing all the thing can you celebrate Mbeku killing. So wala na wokuma yata ba kem fo be nga dindi mo liggéey be wala ni fa la research yi fa ye language sol ni fa you know be bin speak la and their cultural dresses you know ye odal minke it was fantastic. Chairman ba mbina murunne kan coming amin for sponsors ol kuma yata janne you know ngamin fanning and then the executive because you know ntela musomo executive letting al tata bata mi wala meeting o you know ana transactions ninga sonko na bata you know mole bondi do ko le meeting wala ke fo you know be selflessly ba o fe wo fe mantare je foka generation do ta ka wo ma koy anin kam fango tambe fango tankala nyama nin community kono pour que reverence dim fango ba o kodo min dunta Bristol City Council turu na nyin cultural weekend wo mu damma mu fenneti mi yalon ko foni en bunyaka you know hotelo li jota moli nata essentially santa je ndebe hotelo min ton safo Gambian no min be wota bina Gambian 15 sida mi e uru mota wod lat so one hotel dol fana ma wol manke momo mini nata essential say fendoli sang doli ila green levy nying motoli woli jo so kodo min dunta woto andu wobe fitina manke tanawota man so sa ho min nay man kontane so nyimmu fennete mi ya lon ko be nyanta fenkela so executive is a fanan ning sponsor sol and ning ordinary people o mi ya lon ko be different committee sol fadanto ilote singoli prononce wol be tangi kontom anin kafudingo mume be bawo kafudingo kamin fodron ye 5 pound min jo a month wole nyin wulo so ni ye inata iko cultural weekend o diatale cultural night diatale pago diatale ifango nyininka ngamun contributions lekeje bawo dalasi lulu ndingo mole kamin jo every month bawo tolbe damin follow man sponsors to government bulu ngalo ne bo ko be dumale pour nin council ol sembulo ni e bulo dun nyoko non bar pour ka sponsors to abukake you have to do something ya je ko atolier al kan nyinne kan you can plow back to the community janni be dunna wala dum man futa wala mbe wosilo kan so mole do mandingol min jo 5 pound every month because sai kanyi mo malla Kombo Sillah dimbija malla monata pago to mimbe stere UK min sa ko 5 pound a month ata fenkelano so mole wole min kafon kafola o kodo wole domoroli sanga na domorol dimo na mole kontane ndi all the organizations min keta wo kodo le kundu so momo bi jam mu kafudingo tima wo kodo katrajo ka enyante fawni nin kalale this is the time pour nga revert back pour ngo 5 pound o jo because abuka fe offensive ba nga modol lo mini ko 5 pound nyanta jo lo ka 20 pound na jo wol ka 15 pound na jo a month ba 5 pound on ya ke direct debit ka melti la account ko bi ka kalamuta baro wo 5 pound killing lo wolle kungo benta fa dimba ba mala fa ku sa to mi ya long ko ayin tol mu mebe momo mu Gambia noti in Bristol nala around and in the world mini bambeta wodulado inin kontano da male wulita woto one Gambianol can come together and put on a display of this nature but near woke fitina man imam momo e kai I drunk tale wala kule ke je fay manya maneke fo council o man kontano wala amanke so nyimundole nyabo kubalete all of us our heads are high because we organize this the level of the program is massive. It's even beyond our control. But there was no crime. There's no arrest. There was nothing that people can say negatively against all. Anything that happened, is positive. So what the mamu did, that is because people contributed. So Babukar is a minute for no Bakare the chair. It's a minute for no sponsor coming on for and then hakilo mima. And on top of that, Kafudingoli, and especially the executive, Bao Altata Tromina, I saw the journey, I was there before, so it's a now water, Mbitanin Terima, Mimu, Liboit, Mbeten to Lambeja Yela. Abe mo beten tula baraputu ye min fon koto ma inte hanyila wo fola ba kodo ma wara itele kono warta kodo ma koy kono ba barinte hanyila wo fola jam li boy mbetulo mutala le de so Bakari go ahead
betata Mr. Jano baraka bake ila nyinin karo nying betata mayata ko nga fu nyamin dorom mol tofo tol min be mbul janga siata bake katum although tola na timo ni mawara na executive team we have a very small team bari safo ko komi mol ka jele ko tola do ko la nyilt bari to nyala ina do ko munya komi ngabe mu volunteer do quality komi mobika financially mobika joso to je sign forming for barajo min bijede barajo bijela jama ba abika bang bari komi batu ngana sponsors nyol ngol tol mention pour ka tentol njairo murundi kan ya kada bakele kan tol ma koy ka Kombo Sillah ma koy ka bulufangota ka dinna pour nga continue non do ku kendolla bol kono komi jula finance ya kada bak ngamra nyante to saren na nyamim fang ndasa kala ko woke dal bari ya kada bak jula finance bol fana kono Paradise Express inin Babukar Manjang wol fana manke na bi moti wol imetale ka lo Kombo Sillah ka kata Kombo Sillah particularly in sports la side la na medals no na trophies no Paradise Express like a low bundal me beto ka wol topoto ethnic idols anin kadi jabang ikakata back wolfna even sponsor le kono min yalon ko ka bulfengo taka di Kombo Sillah la pulunga indo ko continue no na leafy fruits in Khalifa sa wala business owning wolfna mo leti min yalon ko even sponsor le kono mo kendedol min natam fe komin kalon fe komin hanna manke bi kuti komin ka birin dalta kan support wol kono njog malik natanam anala yaram arts inatam fe yen support bulfungata ya dinna pro kam mako e continue no do kola mbitama Raj Suntu the Gambian High Commission in nila aning ila representative for IBJ wolfuna alhamdulillah ila ko akontano watan fe baki anyabo watan fe kakatan fe baki le baki fa Kombo Sillah ko no mata kan ibikatu ko made wallahi o kan Raj Suntu na lati mo mbe kata for the High Commission Fatu Bensuda ba kontonna ba tentula ba jaila anala timo mebe anti mama nyol mebe ibe kakada bakele when it comes to Kombo Sillah and mbengo fana ibe natale ima beta feje na mod koten dolmin beko Mr. Jani yourself minu ila kato mobile woje amangende da mati lota ka kata ka boring woli te fongo na tuwamne jandulal to yedo ku kende bakeje ening malanyolo malanda wonyolo aliya kata imam lamin kucha manjambe jana woni na luntan kumalu mobe boring na drong aliya kata bak sako njabije sako jane afna kata bak lo lai ka kata ka lowo no tuwamne jandulal to ka mexo wol beta ko e nyanda tala nyami libo fana fama bijele so albe yakata bakele al fakar mu fana bije na secretary general Ibrahima kada bakele Ibrahima Scatterell afna kada baka borom na dron na finance team molu ya kada bak because do ko jama famo beta da diki to la kambak bar ya kada bakele babu nin kadi ala baraka bake alim min be al makoy kata mbaka di jame nyolu ya kada bakele ka ofengol ta ka mexo kono wafrol min nyanta kela ko don min nyanta bolonyo kono ka ol beta ke bonni nyokono ke topoto ni natanan ko min domorol fana la karola na tabiral ya katale wallahi nde tentino nde I just can't nde jairo ning penko dan lata la dal ya kata bakel wollong jumalde just kam mo dan tan faleje amla aiso manjan mala mol mwebe aiso manjan bubaka song ya kata bak ona Kombo Sillah la po kan akakata do bakele ka kata de bak wallahi lota mo flasung la ya kata so tabirla dolu min be ko yasin dabo nyolu be tentula be jaila Sali Liboy mbe kontonna mbe tentula mbe jaila nyima fna ga dal nyima la masale nyima baraka bake aldo la nyata at bereata awa bijele awa babu manjang awa ifana yakata bake wallahi ngay luntangol jati yakata bake la alma ale jo ami kolle singate afana yakata bake le kala tele o fufu dimani tabinan kasamana ning mbameta mbe kontonna ngay lo la nyata bake alama ale ni jo alama ale so simala fish pie chacha e mako e wotole afana kakada bakele wallahi kakada bakele so ngo wo meat pie anu fish pie di man be do anu wo spring rolls nolu a telefona yo mo be to poto ke samana liboy if na lo la ni nyata yakada bak ila donation o yemin samana ka jiyo sanka samana ka di molla ngam me be jele wallahi abaka bak ilo la betata Mkai mfongo musuma maje tele ebedada aning aiso bitama wolle ebedada la ebe kay am bi mul ba fola de ka diata bakel yo wala baraka bakel allo la ni nyata Adama Jallo Adama yakata bake wallahi atale na nyambe nyebe atale fnalo do bundal to ko dada wolum fenete domor lete minana ko domor le daraja da bakele wallahi baraka bake Adama yai enka yai surwa mbar muso baraka bake atale panketo dada ka o panket dimani o kan dimani kamin kenum pakor yo atale fna yo be to poto mole wallahi moli yakata bake moli yakata Fasise Jabang, Allah Baraka Albe Akatabak, Ndei Binta, Jabu Sonko, Bamiam delegation of Mul Mebe, Allah Baraka, Aliakata Bakel, Aliakata. Mr. Jale, Dinding Carola, Ndekanya have been blown away by, the how organized they were. I've been Nsola do Ninga Jamponing Angle, Katungana Dul, Manika among Quaking Jamala.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I just like to mention a few names. This is from the youth group. Honestly, I have been blown away, by their organization. The amount of effort they actually put into this event. From organizing themselves to doing their rehearsals, and coming up with all the different costumes for the different tribes for the play they actually put together. I think they executed it very well, and I've been blown away, and I think everyone is actually pleased the way the whole thing went. So maybe by next year, you'd have perfect the game. So it's all going to be on you next year, inshallah. So Alima Ahmad Toure, Alima Yakatabak. She was brilliant. Khadija Toure, Jennifer Toure, Awasingate, Zainab Jane, Folonko, as usual. Folonko is always a really, really good support, or has been a good support. Binta Jabang, Aminata Toure, Hafsa Toure, Serif Manjang, Ismaila Manjang, Mohammed Job, Sankumbaro. These are just a few names that I managed to put together. If I don't mention your name, please don't take any offense. But honestly, we really, really appreciate all your effort and all the work you put into this event. And on behalf of myself and the entire Kombo Sillah membership, I'd just like to say a big thank you to all of you for the remarkable support you've
Yeah,
rendered to us.
Baraka Baba ke Libo Yamin Kumaya tele just to so to our younger generations go, we can have these programs and enjoy to the maximum without taking drugs, without, reducing ourselves to ridiculous activities like crime, violent disorders, that's going to reduce us to nothing, from the perspective of the council, the police, no police were called to come to this place because, drunken behavior or violent behavior or people fighting here. No, or people, doing antisocials and all those things. None of those report has come out because of, so the level of discipline. All these people came all over the place, converge in one place for 2 days. There was no issue whatsoever. So you don't have to go through these things to enjoy. So so definitely, we bring a part of our culture and display it here that we can enjoy and take it to another level without resulting to all these things, the violence. And we know most of the time parties like this, how it costs the government, how it costs our councils, the police presence, the ambulances coming and here, but none of them none of those happened. So kudos to all of you, for disciplining yourself without nobody watching you, no helicopter hovering around you, no police dog, no police van, no ambulance. and it was a success. The amount of people that came into that place, the park at night, is unbelievable. But also, Bakari member I saw Umi Baro, Masire Betentula, and of course in Bakadi, which you said, but one thing for now, Ming Tala Puruka, Kawo Bambandi Momu Bela Wolomu, modole mi yalon ko inata bondi ola lon kafudole mi yanko inata kanje timo mi yalon ko inata nan ka join football filol to ka fenkol ke anen wandi modol tibabol mini be tambole gonye ko we join the party inata yela tentoli form if I'm about enjoy that, or the Jamaicans many along ko inata they join us because they want the food from the stalls me along ko so a new community is a vengo because model you Caribbeans leti they just had that somebody told them they are food to be sell in ata odulato e domoroli sang in ata murun na ko tenka domoroli sang so mbe mobe tentu lambali jaila for making this program in 2 days successful, and it's getting bigger and bigger. We are getting wiser, we are getting more experience how we can handle the every year but adjust lale to so that it's accumulate but nyimbe kela quality mi ya lonko abe kela soma quality bari ngamira mbinanyi mfanan tankela bawo alqur'ana karam fanan ketela ka dua ka foy bawo nyin ka bola silver jubilee even though more busy ta lunta on siata more mambenno bar ngamira nyanta lungo kerekerale mi ya lonko imamo ni modan tambete bubaka soya of course mbe nyina la bubaka sonna nyadile kotoke is just the energy level I mean so that his age is endless ala boring o aninka kafota ka lead the last person me alonko our family le tarta odulado gon dol tarta jem finti tan nata dan nimmoto laba mo min benta pago to ngala dimba yal tata sanku nimba ay sola nate epic na he was the last person there so wol kany bari nyin ko mi ngani min foro nyomuto da male nyinno nin kombe mobe to fola maybe modol se offense kente mobe to fola no bari mobe le akata do ata nyaonya e jammuta pour ka nyinke kuti mi ya lon ko be nya bo soto je benga to do to dia soto je council ye respect ye mbunya me batandi fe wo fenna anu jang ene masamin bijambe minni ko to ne woli ya recognize ko be banta wala to yalo Kombo Sillah nafa adandula mantarala and this is just the beginning because nyindi ni ngol min jita ta wol ba sambala level ol min don tolite nyakala no wol ha ba wol wuluta janne woli alon ne ko dinkole be dami kondemol be dami se finti no min woli so working on but one thing me alon I have to come back to Gunjur online boss not only the platform but to use technology pour kan ticket ol wafu on the sell online so that man kill soto people killing people coming and the more the time it waste that because to ranjama mobe nata sinya killing I think that is revolutionary to have this ticket sell online so that ni nata dorom ya scan dorom ila funo to it just la details in maybe so kami itandi dorom when we come together we can move mountains and coming for this is example for anybody else last year people were overcrowding na space because in that ticket all man so na fenko masingo dobi ja change and dolening card binala dolening cash binala but this year it was streamlined so coming for drone kanyinta kasamba another place Bubabaro great was a great event thank you so much bro Ibrahim Ajasi ko and I'm happy that going in the right direction, proud being part of years ago. But min fanan kumayata modoli in Gunjuru wali ajibel fofano keta suto ina wulita wonyama pago fanan e Gunjur online ne other media so mo follow member fenkela people are in Gunjur ba dole because of Gunjur online ngani jibele the whole night fa banta kuredi fo moli janjante na continue so nyimmanke wala nan ko Gambia be kolo ye mole min touch here and there model coming tol famata nyola model fanan famata model la wala nyama ye woli je wodulato but seeing our people dancing that's really massive achievement we don't have much time, it's almost 1 hour now but back to how do you how do you people connect with the Nyancho? Because I saw a lot of you, dancing and all those things with Nyancho. Is that generational thing? Or how did Nyancho move you people to the extent that, everybody has a picture with this celebrity, and everybody was dancing and it was Nyancho and Nyancho. Even now, my daughters are singing Nyanchos, police and all those things. That was fantastic. How did you connect with him?
What's funny is that I didn't know Nyansho before these events at all. So I didn't know any of his music, any of his songs. But as he started performing and stuff, I found myself on the front end, like vibing with him and stuff. It was quite nice. And I think I know like one song, I think it's Bakulo or something like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Bakulo.
I really like this song. I ended up really liking that song. It's been stuck in my head forever since. So, and then seeing him at other events as well has been quite fun. So yeah, I really connected with Nyanshu. I feel like he's definitely someone I'll definitely remember now. And I think with the other youths as well, they kind of vibe with his music as well. Obviously, when you're hearing an artist from Gambia, you're not really sure like who he is or anything like that. But then when you see them perform, and especially in your language as well, because a lot of this are Mandinka, in our language, performing in our language is kind of like quite inspiring and like a way of us connecting with the culture as well. So I think he was a very great element to the events this weekend, that weekend.
I agree. I agree. Both
Yeah.
at night and at the park, Nyancho
Yeah.
definitely connected with the kids, and we like that. We want to see the kids connecting with Nyancho, singing his songs and speaking Mandinka in the along the way, So it was really really fantastic, and then kudos to the organizers, to bring Nyancho and all, and we will try more to bring more Gambian artists, at these events, to your level, the ones that, I know Jaliba came, is a cultural ambassador, but he's another level anyway in terms of, but the younger generation, Nyancho and the others appeals to them. And our target is to connect the younger generation to the Gambia. So anything that's going to do that, that's what we are going to focus on. And I want you people to demand things, that are going to, not only to request it, but demand them, from Bakari and all those things, because our target is for you people. In few years' time, everything will be handed over to you, Lord. And then we are going to just sit at the bench and enjoy the fruits of our labor. Nkoto masuo kutale bao is almost ntola jang suo bina kula mbete kula le last word for is a meme for la content dala, and in some of your observations a mini improve no demand if there is any is often for nyense pulete se jolong then tol finance only might be 5-10 minutes it's a work and a program ko bao suo kuta ma kumas juna 8 o'clock lenga kumas and Finland bentolinya to le demanding suo bina kula. Yes. Yeah.
Abaraka Bake Ibrahim, Bay Contona Kotanki, Bay Jaila, Bay Bakari Contona, and a Bakodo Kotanki, and Lamin. Bunjur online la boss. Meda Kondundro for la Babukar Manjan. Babukar Manjan is a very useful son of Bunjur. Because Aningala Muso, but Babukari Okanayari Musole Fanamu. Wala mo demaso be akalam gantolin tutakoma benda Babukar laya ay barbecue organize ala suo kono la space ni mode abe occupy momo na renya je kontano dong ine wala botaje marinalu leko woman surprise Babukar la attitude and la character and really la building wolu ise kalan yimu kendola na society ni kono na gunjuru no minella na gunjuru no ni hormone bunyala ko libo ya sata nyamen ani do babu etfone ya fara face nyamen wala mi di na dindi wolu ni nyaati la ni sira tamulla ya no ase marofe na gunjuru ye banta jang ani koma so ba na fondin keliye se kalan atolla to Ibrahima mu atulin falti pour kende ya alenen karan nan koma o kende ya kilonye ito fana wori piker jam an alenka nani na fanan ko borat komale Gambia bura wolto dum min ya lon ko Ibijan na cultures, especially in the language, na Kangolu. Alinkana nina purka na Kangolu kifo na dinimoli. Because kolong kuti ni alongo isena ado nina tarakunya alfanan say transmitted through in the language lela. Yeah, understand more than Anglican. So please, the Dawda, for myself, for advice Lagona, and also anybody, for Kajeko, as no matter what, the next all come from Dimon Legion, Dimon Lebo come Moyland to fault. They back on the Jeleni as Anglican Fola, I can follow an accent. Woman Dako, it's a labor Moyland toilet. So, Woto, it's a Wolta Nebulana Cool Kono, because Kombo Sillah, ni albe Kombo Sillah history in the I learned by one Banta. So, another Muruna Koren, I learned on name Sodon Banta, another Kawota, and then a values name, Kawolondi, Natundolka, or the Ibrahim, Kombo Sillah, Alka ambassador Gambia, not only going to Kona for Yamin, but the Jamano Bay, or inshallah, Kona for Yamin, the Dauda, Bakarala, Furkat, Mabe, Kombo Sillah event all day. The last time the Kombo Sillah event attended was 18 years ago. That was when I last to see my baby sister Marty. And also I saw my nephew there, Amado. I'm so happy. Ibrahim, Mafral Day, good night. Guys, almost 27 minutes to midnight here. We are for jamming. So, no man, they control and contact about it. Then you know, Kuaro Company, near on a bodyguard, leave way back on the Nabate, and contact about the Bagani Alaji Wolu, Kuri Wolu. And then that poor man, Martin, everyone of you guys. Like, thank you.
Barakan Kodoma, so Kutala J, say, from Bondi, ye Bondi J, la ye Fonyondi, Bao, Bimudo Kulumulti, coming aiming for Rom Babu Kanimomu, Atemu, na Grand Plaza, the La Paluma Lomateti, Kakeno Yaming, Aladamales, Mota, Puri, Yo, Peasant Sotono, Barbutu, Nimoli Yatilina, Resa like a cool like right. Pura more comfortable in the Puru Kanaje. So walk Maya ta Baba Bakele. Bakoto, I'm coming back to you. We know we were happy the program was a success, but there might be one or two things, I know we can discuss it behind the scenes, that you think might improve. What do you think are the drawbacks, of the program? What do you want to see doing differently or better? In briefly anyway. I know at your executive meetings you are going to reflect on these things and come out with them, especially concerning the youth. What can they do better? What can we do also to engage them, or many things? But generally, what do you think are some of the things that you think we can tweak them a little bit and do it better? Hopefully that's going to be a learning, a reflection point for us, for the executive to note.
I think maybe one thing I think it's been a long going issue. I think it has been, but we really tried our best this year. I think probably just timing, trying to be accurate with our timings is just one thing that I think would help a lot with the growth of the association and our events. Because I think when we were performing, we performed a little bit later than we intended to, and not even just our performance, but with a lot of the other things scheduled as well. So I think we are improving slowly, but I think as Gambians as well, I think moreover with our timing on our schedules and stuff, is something that we can improve on. And I think it will happen eventually, inshallah. But yeah, I think that's just one thing I wanted to mention.
Yeah, definitely. It will, especially with you people coming into the forefront.
Yeah.
You will address that. For us, I think it will be difficult, but at least we have a big improvement this year. Especially to have those tickets bought online. I think that also helps. And some of the emphasis that we charge people extra for coming late and all those things. I think those are really, really very, very good guides guidelines, that helps to improve things and streamline things. But really, it was, transformational to get the tickets online. I think we will do more of those, next year. Bakari finally ise mune fono lafta mine fole se min adde nyinata min na bori se final thought fanandi molla min ya lonko ibije am so nga ibuture fole and in some of the people moto fo ga kole ale, but generally ila impression mumineti anin mine be fudori bulo kono for next year fanan pour sa fo mole ba mole fa booking commence le kabere sai because of their experiences, so kudol bijente ol fola no aning kafudingol fanam pour more people yena joining register, and on top of that pour ise la kodoli jo aning pour mole asobi wol fanan minita julol lo mole pour ise wol fanan jo aning Kombo Sillah la paraphernalia sol mole minita pour ise jo bakare bisimla ne bije.
Mr. Chana, baraka baka kotenke. Alhamdulillah. Nkae nyunde mode nkae watu jampande interesai kum ka kumfa wole tutaje bari. Mbatu nyinata modantan na mbatu ngawol to menson janembe ko conclude la. Nyinata so na front of house team, front of house wole marata bengola fangola on the first night. So wole ka lundangol sambanang kasi dila wole marata wo wo internal preparation of mwe bela. Mbatu nga modantan full kono mole yakata back. So abawol kono coming bengo fangola na MC Bar, our host of the night, Yaya Samori Ture, teleketan jadi ti wolungo, ayakata back ala du ko nyata, alhamdulillah, aning na vice chair bakoto tele nyanda kala no ala assistante bare cool sia bakoto pona bulu wolum back bare faman apenko do keno bara ayakata back wallahi. So as part of the front of house team, Aissatou Martin Linture, Akada back, Kalundamol Bondinan, Sibla Kendall Dila, Aminata Barrow, Funa Akada back, it will be to Kunimake Holo to Olungo, Alaji Brima, Wolunga Tebe Natalo Trakan and video of Funa Akada back, my brother Lantu, Akada back, Jenny. Jen Sadi, Khalifa Nyolo, Khalifa Sawanyolo, Molpe Akata, Wotimo Molkono. Mbinki Masi Akada back online. I would will be organized no nyaming ka role so ka dealer kanaka will play ka be execute perfectly on the night Masile Maratol Mubela Masi Akada back Baraka back Umi Baronyolu Ali Akada back Kabo Asubi Waffle to Kana Ninkudol to Ali Akada back online. Na DJ Bamba funa kontona Lami France lunga funa Akada back ka ka system set up kana ka music dimal be play to keep us entertained for the night atela funa bo ko koma ma be lal kono fana be sana tentula sana jasi anin Kombo Real Estate be tentula be jaila ya kada back aso be means ambulasia da back and then ye kodo kode kumadi nadal purka kan kama jam fande ka Kombo Sillah se ma ko pour ndado ko mbabinke kan pour ke continue so nim boto woto nin nata nan sports la ma fon la just maybe mo fla do no min marto od la mine je tamande paake wolong Suleiman Bojanti wolle marta na football la area la Suleiman Bojan Babatov aning Mohamed Jang wolle would lal organize in finance director babu wolle coordination ko ma fon la yakata baake timol nata na inate dankun participate wo tournament onyinto amna sara hulole nata ke winasti inate la trophy nyang present ya bari mun be ma beta mun be representation ki be beta ntulan be jaila yeah so ngamira ye ibuto fole mi yalan ko nyinata la kabuna lundan ko mal kono bari ya funama mol ma beta le kanela bulfengo sambananka di Kombo Sillah pour ngam fongo support ni wala ngamira sign coming next year na hakilo be bole kan sign pour ka o plan from now because program winning sembo wartale so aka sanji mu me require le pour nga tarasirin ka plan So inshallah, dindingolu saying cool understand bakele because this time is surprise bakele. So maybe next year, but even bigger role it will play in the whole thing. So batala dindikul from sign from now to meeting go full plan and hopefully next year maybe nala will be inshallah. I want to take this opportunity to thank, Gunjur Online for giving us the platform to talk to, our guests, to talk to our supporters, to talk to our members, and everyone who basically, stand by KSA, who supported KSA all throughout, this event. So I want to thank everybody. So all the youths, all the members, and all our supporters for their, basically for their tremendous support. Yeah, and thank you, Mr. Jane. Thank you, Lamin Chami, once again. I just like to conclude here and
thank you, Bakari.
thank all of you for all your support.
Mbeten tulambe jayila hakilo ke jamo ma Umar Sise afanan nabe pago tole ay doku kende keje telephone yende saba this time around dream futadura ko nyen disappoint talenke tara janne war bitam tele saba so but more coming for on to for mutanolity more bele akata in their own way and se min ken odron ko kato double nyanta mira la wola le bawo coming for nyinka fo be nyanga sambale phobia futada nyabo dat koma tati je koten nyinka fo dal alay barako kejele so nobody should be allowed to be left out mol mi ya lon ko be hesitating man confidence don sa fo ko nyinka fo maltalti alna alfon le ka fo benga do ko ke minna ali joina ka fo kan ali alla ko do jo kodi jo nin ka register formally o damale be nin ka fudiyate men nyinka fo te mobulala noje anda futata da min bele ya doko ke ay nyabo ke not only Kombo Sillah dingol bar Gambia mu me be so mol be nyanta na la bawo coming amin for nyimman ken toleti anymore mo ye misgiving soto sa indi larger picture mu dindingol let mbe nyindingol mol la no nyaadi de pour nge connect no to Gambia andu se woke no nyaadi le tol follow nyanta connect la le ning le follow ni binki wol ni barngol fanaye collect not in isolation but as a group control ka nyami because jam dolle nay brought up nyami mo be le kanadi ni mota aya kulu so nimma woke no luolong a chance means sort of for these 2 days pour ngo organizing the mali na £5 jo only £5 pour nga diningol shape no pour nga kontan no de mali nyo mo de mali ka nyo text so me tolle be kala kuke nyoti nim futubi je tolle seke futote ni mo se bondi ku bondi nyo kam because bala fa be longole bale tolle nyanta kala nyo so mo be dani la yena murung Kombo Sillah wale join Kombo Sillah yela kodo jo den nga jibe together be se mine contribute to our finances through our resources through our talents, our ideas, so that we can help these kids to shape their lives so that they don't sit in isolation, so that they are not chronically lonely in their homes no matter what they achieve, because they don't have somebody to talk to. They don't have a friend that they can hop in a bus to go and visit that individual. And we have to create that, because God will not come and give us that. God give us the brain, the ability, so that we can think, so that we can come together, we can unite and shape our future. Nobody is going to do that for us. If not, these kids are going to be with their own individual lives. And this life is challenging, it's complicated. You are going to have obstacles. Sometimes what you need is not what you get. It's not the resources, no other, but the human touch. Sometimes you want a family, you want a friend to come and visit you. So when you are so distressed, what you want is to take a phone and call a friend and say, I'm fed up today. Things are not going as how I expect them to go. And that individual say, calm down, calm down. You remember, this is what our fathers did. This is what our aunties did. This is what our mothers did. Then you reflect, you calm down, because the world is not all about money. It's about human touch. The social wealth that we are creating here is the everlasting wealth that we are doing. So how can you just be comfortable to be outside? the perimeters of those who are shaping the kids' life, not only for material gain, but the wealth, the social life that we have in abundance back home. And even though we don't have no money, we are happy. And people are asking, why are you happy? Why are you smiling? Even in the midst of penury, the extreme poverty, but we are happy because we have the social wealth. The wealth is not only material, sometimes it can be a dream. You have it without the social beings around you, you will be lonely in your own big houses and big cars and nobody to share up. So this is what KSA is all about. And anybody who want to shape tomorrow in future, because this is our collective legacy, is to create Kombo Sillah so that we can see our kids tomorrow, knowing each other, visiting each other from one city to the other, and then paying tickets, going to Gambia together as a group. We see white people, they're taking their kids in groups and taking them to Gunjur to learn the social wealth that we created, that our forefathers and our fathers created there. And here we are. We think, individualism, to be on our own side because we can have a small food here, a small car here. We think we don't need anybody. What the impact will be on the kids when you are not there, because, you are making them impoverished in terms of the total wealth that they need, to maneuver the challenges this world will going to throw on their feet. In them. So Kombo Sillah, that's what they are doing. So mbe mobe tentu lambe jail. Puriye fango jeko ibe legacy because kodi table okono fe wo fenne table okono handi o kodo soto bibi lala ni fata mol kamine ke yemu impactless soto on people, especially the future generation. Not ye bunjelle tuje mobu ko wodiamu ni be laring. Mol kamin diamro how you impact on people's life. Mol kana fintile ka foko what I mean Kenya tending I nyinni Kenya nya soto la en feketa tentin. Mol ka wolle discuss not the wealth, especially in sakoite ma soto fam. So what is the arrogance is all about? Alin na high na arrogance and na unnecessary withdrawal syndrome me aloka be mulla na individual interest alinga tunujinga na together as a united front so that we can build a collective legacy me along konsa pass no nyindindi wala soma we de bijang iman tarajan they will think about you. I'm thinking about my own grandfather, kodita bulokono fe wofenta bulokono, but the social wealth, the platform I've been creating to be where I am. How can I forget him? How can I forget them? So what is abumbe mobe kumandila from the rooftop to come together so that some ideas le put together and our ability so that we can even create a future for these people where they can have social wealth, in a very, very challenging environment. This is a new environment for us, even for them to navigate it because ila foundation migrants lomadi. So it's difficult. So mbe mobe tentu lambe jaila. Once again, Kagunjur online tentu anin na bosba anin Kombo Sillah dingol be anin luntangol anin na gesol na sponsor mini ya lonko be nada. But at the end of the day, the executive mini ya lonko marathon soto sleepless night to discuss these things, and they implement it to perfection. Once again, Allah barakambe mobe tentulambe jaila for what you do.